Hey Wanderers, the next episode will be with our new campaign, Desperation. This game is run in Urban Shadows. Thanks for joining us on this arc of Wanderlust. As always, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and if you're enjoying our podcast, please consider leaving us a review wherever you listen to us. Now, let's join our adventurers as they approach the island of Sporehome. Last time on Wanderlust. And you feel yourself waking back up to your own body. Oh, you also feel like an intense sense of vertigo. Sorry, like almost like you lost a sense when you wake back up. Because you no longer have that like intuitive understanding of like what is under the ground, where and why. You lost all of that.
What do you mean you ate one?
In the vision.
And how do you feel now?
Well, I'm a little dizzy, but not. I don't think it's that. I think it's because. So I was seeing it from the perspective of the guy that owned this bow, right? And I could like kind of control certain things of the vision, if that made sense. And I wanted to know what that felt like. And I definitely had like it felt like there was another sense that I could feel more about what was going on around me. And then when the vision ended, I lost that. That's kind of why I feel dizzy and fell over. So it felt like I was losing a sense.
I was wondering when we would see you again.
Again, I caution you, do not trust anything across these mountains. Do not trust their lies. And a little seed sits where she had her hand planted. I leave this for you. It may be of some help. Is that any way to greet an old friend?
This is the guy. This is the guy with the heads, the skulls.
Please do not destroy what you are here to destroy. I am unsure what will happen to us if the fungus inside of us dies.
It means that if one of us takes the mushroom, we're gonna have to figure out if we can hang on to a part of us. The part of us that is determined to stop them. I'm wondering if I activate that and eat the mushroom, if I can hang on to that part of me. If you are willing, we would like to give the antidote that we have a try on you.
All right. And as he's talking, he just like falls apart into soup, and there's just like a skull sitting there on the ground, and that's where we'll end.
Ah!
All of you are on a bank of this kingdom of mushrooms. Gosh, that sounds like Mario. Let me think of a different phrase for that. Land also sounds like Mario. Zach said Mario before this, like made a Princess Peach joke, and now I can't get away from it. We're going with jungle. There's a jungle of mushrooms. You're on a river by it. You had just given the antidote to that hunter that you had met before. And as soon as he took it, he melted into a pile of goo.
Are you okay? Are you still there? I don't know how your species works. Are you still in there?
Estelle, I think he's gone. I think it was very effective for what we designed it to do, which is get rid of mushroom stuff, and it maybe was a little bit overkill. I'm really glad we didn't give it to Tira.
Can I poke him, like the pile of goo, like with a stick, or like the butt end of my spear?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I think he was over on the bank, right?
I was on the bank with him.
Yeah, you guys can come over. Yeah.
Okay.
Autumn was on the bank
We had
with him.
to give the thing to him.
Okay.
Zach, you did that, right?
Yeah.
Roll me an athletics check.
At least I'm good at that. What does a 7 get me?
You poke at this goo, and it immediately, like, slurps up onto your hand, and you can feel, like, this stinging sensation, like it's trying to melt your skin a little bit, and you start trying to, like, fight it off, and the more you do, the more it, like, the liquid that's there starts congealing almost into muscle as you're trying to pull your hand back, and you manage to kind of stomp it with your foot, rip your hand free, and jump back as this thing slowly, in a way, but also upsettingly quickly, considering how big it gets, starts reconstructing itself, bones slotting together, and translucent muscle sort of sliding over those bones and, dragging them into its body. Eventually, a skull kind of shifts up amoeba-like through its body to sit on the top of itself, and then flesh starts growing around it. You can see a tongue forming as musculature forms around this skull. When it's like 80% formed, you hear a kind of raspy voice coming from it. That was an altogether unpleasant experience. As its jaw is still kind of loose, hanging in its head.
Was it mostly unpleasant, or just... I don't know. I don't know where the census is going. I was hoping you were going to cut me off, if I'm being completely honest.
I could liquefy you and allow you to experience the process of putting yourself back together.
I'm going to level with you. My body doesn't do that. Liquefying me would just... I would be gone.
A, like, wet hand touches your shoulder, and you can feel, like, layers of epidermis forming as it sits on you, you know? None of us are gone. We just change what we are. And the hunter kind of smiles at you, and as it does, its jaw kind of, like, snaps down a little bit and hangs loosely, and it sort of pops it back into place.
So I take it you're still part of the hive mind, then?
No, I believe your cure, or so you call it, worked.
Well, no, you just referred to it as us. Yourself as us. Like you're still part of a bigger thing.
Hang on, semantically, when did I say us? This is code.
Like literally just now.
Did I say us?
Yeah.
Slip of the tongue!
Juliet does not believe this for 1 second.
You can make checks. There are no, like, patches of mushroom growing on it anymore, you know, it seems.
And there used to be,
yes,
right?
Yes.
It's awful. You got a 1.
Yeah, no, he seems fine.
So, how do you feel? Like, other than, like, the reconstitution that you just did, do you want to be back with the mushrooms?
I feel like I've lost a sense, which is unpleasant. I don't know if you've ever gone blind or lost your hearing, like if maybe something doesn't form correctly and your eyeball falls out. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but it's sort of like when that happens.
I have been trapped under a building, unable to move.
Like that!
Fred, you were telling us about something like that, right?
Yeah, it kind of seems similar to what I experienced when I had my vision there. It's like I lost a sense. It kind of was a little disorienting.
Is it worth all the other changes that had happened to you to have that sense?
To me, yes. To you, understand my corporeal form is significantly more abstract than yours. I frequently add and remove parts, and I will say that fungus was not a terrible part to add.
Do you feel more yourself then?
That is an interesting question. I have always been a combination of parts. It is what gives us our strength. So in that way, I've always added to myself from others.
But do they usually have a say in how you behave after you add yourself?
Kind of. If I use the skull of a predator, I am more likely to take on those attributes, just as if I take on the skull of something capable of such speech, I become more eloquent.
So what sort of skill did the mushrooms give you?
I understood more what all of this was doing just intuitively by looking at it, which I now lack. I also do lack that impulse for it to grow, which is understandable, but I'm also don't feel suddenly like a largely different thing than I was before. I still remember our slightly unpleasant first interaction. I remember you trying to blow me up. I still would like you to not potentially kill all of the mushroom because it might mean the death of my brethren.
I don't think we want that.
This is good to hear.
I think at this point that I don't think we want it to spread to the point of taking over the forest and the wilds and everything that's out there, but it sounds like it's still a necessary part of all of this, and eradication could be, worse than just getting rid of a couple fungus.
I'm inclined to agree.
Would you agree the same in the reverse, though, that eradication of the forest would be bad? Because saying the team that you want to win to not be eradicated is meaningless. Like it's like me saying, like, I don't want Smoky Banks destroyed. Well, obviously. It's another thing for me to say I don't want the other settlement up the river to not be destroyed.
Let me maybe put it to you like this. I believe, at least in a reasonably long, short term, me and my kind could survive the disappearance of the forest as it is now. I don't believe they could survive the full disappearance of the mushrooms unless you wanted to individually cure each one of them. So, yes, am biased. I am not pretending not to be.
I do appreciate that.
As I think all of you are as well. Not pretending, but biased.
Oh, I definitely am, but you understand what I'm saying,
I do.
You being happy we don't want to destroy the mushrooms is not as meaningful as you being happy we don't want to destroy the forest, since you are kind of solidly team mushroom still.
True.
So is there a way that we can create some balance between the wilds and the mushrooms? Is there anything that would prompt the mushrooms to be content with just the original area that they had, the original island, even?
I will level with you. My largest aptitude is in finding prey and tearing them apart and utilizing their parts. I know very little about balancing ecosystems. I know very little about the technology that all of you carry. I know enough to use. I know what impulses the mushrooms gave me. That is all. What understanding all of you might gain from a closer familiarity with this fungal network has yet to be determined.
Is there someone else we should talk to then? Another fellow hunter that maybe has a different original skill set?
Most of us have the same skill set.
Okay. It seems like kind of more of a wilds thing, doesn't it? The whole hunter-prey thing. I feel like we've run across that a lot, dealing with the forest phantom.
We are somewhat a product of the wilds, yes. We survived there for a long time. But adoption of this fungal network has changed us. Oh, that was the us. By the way, that was the us. It was talking about him and other hunters. Just realizing why I said us. There is an us that he is a part of. He does care about other hunters.
Okay.
Where we're still in a place that's pretty, like, surrounded by the mushrooms, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they all over the place.
Snatching our people up.
Okay. I don't know if there wants or needs to be more conversation with the hunter, but while Estelle's, like, looking at the mushrooms, like, doing that contemplation thing of, like, psyching yourself up to be like, I'm gonna do this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Estelle has it, but I think Estelle's gonna, like, be fidgeting in her pockets, and she's gonna find the box that Lance gave us.
Okay.
And suddenly remembering her notes that she's supposed to open this later after they've left Echo, she's gonna pull that out, and I think I'm gonna open it.
So you flip open this box that's maybe like, think shoebox sized. Inside,
I have all the gifts. I just realized I have every single one.
all things being fair, I don't think Lance specifically gave that to you. He gave it to the party.
No, but I have the seed. I have the other thing, and I'll just say I have Lance's. So,
Well, one of your character things is that you always have snacks because you're a mom. So I think it just goes in your snack bag.
You
know?
also were the one who the Forest Phantom, like, became friends with early on with the scenes.
Oh, and it was it was also down to the roll of randomly who would get to talk to the Forest Phantom last time.
it's just
That ended
funny.
up being
I just
you.
found it funny.
So you pop it open, and there's like a 2-part metal tube, and like one half of it's filled with like a swirling green gas. There's like notches, like it's like graduated, you know, and you can see that one half is full of this swirling green liquid. The other half is full of a swirling red liquid. And then there's like a label on it and like etched in the basically stainless steel case that it has, and it's just called the Catalyst. Inside, there's a note from Lance, and it says, "This is the Catalyst, used with extreme caution. To activate, twist the like 2 halves of the container, 1 full rotation. It will combine these chemicals and atomize things in a very wide radius. Use with extreme caution. There's a 30-minute delay after activation."
Did he give us a nuke?
It sounds suspiciously like the thing Julian found earlier and used, and it was terrible.
I will say, it's not exactly, in that what you did was an accident. This is meant to do this. Oh, and then I'll say there's like an end at the note, and it just says, "Using this is like considered to be a last and shameful step in a conflict."
Why did he give us this?
Yeah, I think Estelle, like, looks at it and is like, I'm not making this decision, and puts it back in the box.
It's Lance. He's not going to give you, flowers.
No, I know, but
That's true.
jeez.
I get it. Where he's like, these people are going to destroy the mushrooms and are our only hope.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to need a nuke, destroying a civilization is when you need one.
Gosh, I don't want to be, like, blackmailing them and, like, but I mean, I guess that's what we're going to have to do of, like, we literally could atomize all of you. Oh my gosh, that's awful.
I like when my games upset the players. That's the goal.
Yeah, we know.
It's funny because he says this, and then he's going to call me tomorrow morning on my way to work, and he's like, "Are you really okay? Like, I know it was a little intense last night. Are you sure it was okay? I feel bad. I want you to still, like, be having a good time."
Got 2 more gifts, Estelle. What are you going to play with next?
I don't know, like, well, because, okay, I guess I can jump in character here. I think, as Estelle's putting away the gift from Lance, she's gonna turn back to everyone else. Okay, so, kind of forgot about this, but, Lance, sent us along with something that is like what I would think is a last resort type of, let's go with weapon, or a last resort, in case we can't convince the mushrooms to stop expanding. So there's that. If I'm gonna eat these mushrooms, I should not have this. So Juliet and Fred are the only ones on the boat right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm on the shore.
You can all be wherever you want to be at this point, I guess.
Yeah, if Estelle's about to eat the mushroom, I can be back on the ship. That doesn't bother me.
I think she holds it out towards Juliet and Fred. So someone can hold on to this. It's not me.
Juliet, is there a circumstance where you'd be willing to use this ever? Same question to you, Fred.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
All right, I'll take it, I guess.
Wait, what's your answer?
There is a situation where Autumn would use that, yes.
The fact that we didn't have an answer and Autumn does, then means Autumn might...
Julia just took a long time making her list, but Autumn can hold on to it.
I mean, your answer was, and then silence.
She was calculating.
If she wants to talk about it,
no,
she can.
you can hold on to it. That's fine. Are you sure about this, Estelle?
About eating the mushroom?
Yeah.
No, but I really, at this point, I don't. Mr. Hunter over there says that. Sorry, do you have a name? I feel really bad.
I am the hunter.
Great. Okay. So, Mr. Hunter over there.
The hunter.
Mr. the Hunter.
Dr. Mr. the Hunter.
So, Mr. the Hunter over there, he said that there's no, one person or being that we can talk to. So I think, unless anyone has a different idea, I think that's going to be the best way to commune with the entity that is or are these mushrooms.
I don't think you're wrong. I just don't want to lose you.
Well, ideally, the antidote seemed to work, so I'm at least optimistic about that. I also feel pretty good about using my ability to stay cognizant. So, that's all I got is...
Anything else we should hang on to before you have a snack?
Yes, actually. Yes. And she pulls out the seed from the Forest Phantom.
Juliet will hold on to that.
I don't remember if I told you all that this was left by the Phantom, but yeah, I feel like if I have any kind of influence from the mushrooms, they might want to destroy that. I don't know what it does, but if it's from the Phantom, I can only imagine it's not great for the mushrooms.
What if you eat both? I'm not saying we should do that. That sounds like a terrible idea, but
just let me hold on to both while I'm...
No, I meant just eat both of them at once, make a nice trail mix.
Eat the seed?
I don't know what it does. I'm saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying in a narrative, that would be the way to coexist. I think we would fully lose you.
Oh, God. I think that's too much for... I don't know.
Don't do it. No, this is if I was writing the story, and named it Wanderlust, the story, Estelle would eat both.
Well, I know roughly what the mushrooms do. I have no idea what the heck this does. So, I think we'll, I don't know. In my head, I feel like it must do something repopulate some of the areas that have been taken over by the mushrooms. That is how I've been thinking about it, but that doesn't mean anything. So yes, let's hang on to both of those. And, I guess let's get this thing going.
Good luck. And Juliet, reaches over and hugs her, which is not the most common thing for her.
Mr. the Hunter, would you mind picking us a mushroom?
Mr. the Hunter looks down at the ground as there are just mushrooms all over the place, some of them growing tall in arches around you, and
I'm on the boat.
Oh, he picks one, kind of looks at it confusedly, and reaches out with a really long arm that sort of joints pop loose as it kind of becomes somewhat tentacly, and hands it to you.
Cool. Okay, so before I do this, I'm going to use the last 2 of my fate points, unless you'll just let me use one. But what I want to do is I want to reach out to Matthew and Mitchell.
Do you want to have this active while you are eating the mushroom? Is that the idea?
Yes.
What is the exact text on your ability again? Do you
I
have it
don't
written
know.
down?
Where would that even be?
I assume you have it written down. Sorry. Give me a second.
I don't think you ever gave me a specific
I
text.
think I did, but it's okay. Give me a second.
I think you read off specific text to us all, and none of us wrote it down.
It's also very
Y'all
likely.
are monsters.
Well, you could have just put it in Discord, which actually now I'm thinking about it might actually.
Yeah, it is. Okay. No, I'm good. Okay. So I'll say that's one fate point because you spend one fate point to reach out to your family.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out and wait until I feel something back, because I feel like that's the tethering,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Sure.
And then, yeah, I'll take a bite.
All right. I want you to make me a... what abilities do you have that feel like relevant for mental fortitude check of some sort?
The fact that she's a parent.
Yeah, can I use that? No, I have danger sense, inquisitive, perfectionist, determination, and composed, which are probably all my mental stuff, and it's all the stuff I'm the worst at. So,
Let's go with determination. That feels right.
determination, okay. +3.
You reach out to your family back home at Smoky Banks, and you do feel that connection of this sort of like slow dread and anxiety as this, fungal thing is creeping towards them. So like that's that response, that tether. You feel that pretty strongly as you bite into this mushroom. As soon as you swallow a piece of it, that sensation of connection changes. You could feel the anxiety of this encroaching mycelial network reaching towards Smoky Banks. You can almost envision your mind like these tendrils making their way through the soil closer and closer and closer to the city, or, to the town. But once you take a bite of that mushroom, you still have that feeling of anxiety, but then the actual path of that mycelial network becomes extremely solid to you. You understand not just that it is creeping torsely towards Smoky Banks, but where, how, what soil it's using. Looking further back, you can see the course that it took near the river, and it's sort of spraying out from that into the forest and slowly killing trees there. Back, you can feel it in that cave that you found, back down, and then into this area where you're sitting now. As you reach for family, you feel another 2 like glowing spots in your mind. You feel a hive of activity in the mountains south of where you're at right now. Like, you have the map, you know that this is what was labeled like the stronghold. Hang on.
So east of the mountains, not south.
You're slightly north of them now. It's north and it's southeast of you. And then further north, you can feel this consciousness is the wrong word, but you can feel a nexus of all of these mycelial tendrils all forming together into like a massive complex bundle on that island called Sporehome. You can feel a deep trench in the water where the mycelial network slowly spread deep enough under the ground, underwater, that it was able to overcome the salty water to the north and eventually reach the mainland and start spreading. But that island Sporehome, you can feel like this ancient fungal growth that has been there for so long, that finally creeped its way across the ocean floor and then started to spread. As you look around just right now in the landscape around you, you can understand the ecosystem that is here, how it is functioning, and why. You just have an intuitive sense for how these mushrooms are growing, where they might grow better, where they would grow worse, what things they need to sustain them. And then you do feel this like nagging desire to help that, but it doesn't take the form of like
Coercion.
Yeah, like you don't feel like you're being forced to do something you don't want to do, but sort of like when you're hungry, you eat. The mushrooms need to be healthy and spread. You just have that desire for that to happen. I will say at this point, you can also ask me questions because that's a lot. But if there's specifics that you want to know, you can ask.
Okay, when I'm trying to like reach out to Mitchell and Matthew. Can I still?
You can, but equally, you feel yourself drawn to this like nexus of mycelial fibers up in Sporehome.
When you say drawn to it,
when you go, I want to see my family, I want to feel my family, you feel that just as much as you feel Matthew. Matthew's not gone. You just feel something else as well.
Okay.
Hope you wanted a big family, Estelle.
Right. So, am I just like, when it comes to the stronghold and like the actual home, am I just like hyper aware of exactly where they are?
You don't necessarily have like a location for every hunter. You're aware that there's a great deal of like mycelial life in the stronghold, and then that there is a exponentially larger amount at Sporehome.
Okay, I can't think of anything else to ask right now. But Estelle is, you know, I think she would like talk out loud with this too, not only just to, you know, keep everyone else involved. So I think once she's like had a minute for everything to settle, she's going to close her eyes and ask, but like in like a reaching out to the mass, I guess. I'm running out of words to describe this. Hello? Is there something out there that can talk back to me?
It's exactly like it is when you try to reach out to Matthew. You don't get words, you get a feeling, right? So this mycelial network is not such a hive mind that you can cell phone call something over here, but you do get a feeling from this thing. You get a feeling a feeling of like a desire for growth, a desire to like expand is kind of the wrong word. Grow more and stronger is a better one. You get a feeling of long isolation suddenly able to free itself from that.
So I think Estelle like puts her hand up to her chest to like, you know, have like a physical like, okay, this is where the like feeling is. Okay. So I'm not getting any word answers. It's a lot like what the forest did to me.
Does she have mushrooms sprouting on her?
You do start to see some like mottled patches on her skin.
Okay.
I'm feeling this deep desire for needing to grow, and that what was once isolated suddenly has been able to break out of that and become stronger and more, and they want to keep doing that.
Do you want to promote that too? Do you want to do that?
Yes, but not in a way that I need to do it. I'm not sitting here. I can ignore that right now. It is not a desire that is so strong that I need to ignore this to attempt that. But I can feel that want to promote growth.
Make a danger sense roll.
Words you always love to hear.
Right.
+3.
I'm not going to decide how you play this, but emotionally, Estelle does have the very real understanding that Autumn wants to kill her. And has the ability to do so. And to a somewhat equal extent, so does Juliet. Like, that's there. You can intellectually understand why, and that is not necessarily what's happening. But you also know that Juliet has a cure, in air quotes, that would eradicate you. And you know that Autumn has a thing that could just erase this island from existence. And that is upsetting.
Estelle is going to reach out and grab Guffy, like hold on to his fur, because he's here too. Hello, Guffy.
Bark.
Oh. You beat me to it.
Estelle, you've got patches on you. Can I take a look?
Yes. We knew that was gonna happen, so I'm not surprised.
Just kind of writing down where they are, how big they are.
When she comes close, Estelle flinches away, but is trying to stay put.
Yeah.
I feel like she's sitting in a meditating pose, cross-legged and trying to keep herself centered, knowing all this other stuff, but trying to be I'm not gonna run.
I love how you're describing me at the doctor. This is fine. They're going to just jab a sharp instrument into me. I want this, actually.
Estelle's going to close her eyes again and try to reach out again. Our expansion is harming the rest of what is out there. Can we find a different way to grow?
So, the ability to send that complex of a message this distance, even with that ability, is not really possible. You can send a feeling. You can send a feeling like anxiety over dangerous or anxiety over growth, right? But you couldn't send something that detailed that distance. You can feel that bundle of mycelial, connections that have grown up in Spore Home. You can feel a certain degree of intelligence there, but directly talking to it, you're extremely far away, and this amount of information is not making it that you know what I mean? This isn't an email.
Yeah.
So it has to be a meeting, not an email, is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't do this one over Zoom.
It's not going through. They're not, I don't know if it's not understanding or if we're just too far away from it. I think at least I'm going to have to get closer.
Well, we have our boat. We can still keep going.
And we're not leaving you alone.
No, well, I don't know how, hostile it'll be, but at the very least is what I'm saying is I think I need to get closer if we want to continue this attempt to stop our growth.
We do, and we want to continue it together. So let's get going.
Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? What time is it?
I think this was evening, probably.
I think we'd spend all day on the river and then ran into him.
Yeah, I think this was the end of the day was the hunter coming back to you to chat.
I call to the shore. Do you want anything else with us? One of us ate the mushroom. Are you happy now?
The hunter pulls the talking skull out of its head and puts in one that's sort of avian looking, and you can see its body changing as its arms distend into wings. I need nothing for now, but I will see you! And then it caws and flies away.
I don't feel good about that. Was it mushroomy when it left?
It wasn't.
Are you still okay, Estelle? Stable?
I think so. I don't think I'm going to be as much help moving anymore because I'm nervous that if I stop concentrating, some of these other feelings might take over.
Are you going to be able to sleep?
We will find out.
Do you want us to restrain you at all?
No. I'll be fine without that. I think maybe once or twice, looks over to the shore and off the boat as a escape route.
Yeah, this does feel unsafe. Yeah. All right. You all start making your way up north and then to the ocean. Although, I guess, do you want to wait a night or do you want to just start going?
I think we should start going.
Okay. So probably by morning, you actually hit the ocean proper. It is as oceans are, an endless and emerald green body of water. Far off to the east, you think you might be able to begin to see something on the horizon that is Spore Home as you turn the boat that direction and start going. At this point now, poles are useless and you're relying solely on the solar panels and the small motors that push this boat along, which does slow things down. The time it takes, it's slow, right? It is slow going, and there's a long time just watching this thing come up over the horizon, because even in this weird place, worlds are round. And as it does, like Estelle, you can feel that nagging sensation in your mind kind of growing, not necessarily imposing more will on you, but it's louder. And you do start to feel a little bit more flavor in those emotions that you can detect as you get closer and closer and closer to Spore Home.
I think she, shakes her head to, even though that's not how that works physically, try to, shake off those feelings.
Sure.
And I think now that we can see the starts of that island, she starts thinking again, trying to send out that same thing she said earlier. We're hurting others. Can we find a way to grow in a different way?
You feel that connection stronger as you get closer, but you don't feel like you've found a center of this yet, right?
Okay.
By late afternoon, the, boat is now bumps in to the edge of Spore Home, right? The island in front of you is very odd looking. It is a complex, dense, pipework of these, think between 4 inches in diameter and 30 inches in diameter, strands of this mycelial connection, right? That are just dense and knotted over and over and over again on each other. Even in this light, you can see that there is flickering blue luminous points on it that seem to be flashing, as this whole thing is an odd to look at cabley strobe light, right? Just bundle of interconnections that are all pulsing with this blue luminance. Estelle, for you, it is quite loud and a little bit overwhelming even to stand here, just your mind feels kind of fuzzy, as this is a lot. If you think about how much connection is there, every inch of mycelial network that has grown out right through all of this other island is maybe a quarter of how much has grown here, and is just interwoven again and again and again on itself and connected back to itself so many times and in such complexity.
Okay, I don't think Estelle moves first in she's not charging off the boat, then she's holding her head in her hands and she's still trying to concentrate on that message that she's trying to throw out, Yeah,
this is nearly overwhelming for you. Yeah,
a lot of heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Autumn, can you help me? And Julia's gonna go over and try to support Estelle, so that she's not having to focus on balance and stuff like that.
It's strong. There's a lot going on. I keep thinking, and I don't know what's getting through.
Well, we're still here. Smoky Banks is still there. We're all still here. And we can get closer, or we can stay here for a bit. Up to you.
Estelle shakes her head. No, I think it's got to be closer. The sooner we do this, the better. I don't know how long I can push some of this away.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you clamber your way onto this, walking on. Oh, sorry. What's up?
I am going to take some solution with me.
Okay, that's fine.
And the seed.
Also fine.
I have the bomb.
Also fine.
We're playing Counter-Strike now. The bomb has been planted.
Okay, so you guys all, like, scramble onto this pipe work, and now this island is not big, but it's miles across, right? It's not tiny either.
That's big for a mushroom, if I'm going to be completely honest.
It's big for basically a interconnected web of giant mycelial trunks. Yeah, it's a lot. Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to figure out?
So at this point, is it all just like fuzz in my head, or can I still like feel like I guess not still, can I feel like a heart?
This is the mental equivalent of staring into the sun.
Great.
I would say Estelle is like, you will be rolling at disadvantage for anything you try to do right now.
Yeah. Then I don't have any suggestions. I'm just still trying to send out that, I guess, signal.
Is there a direction we should head, Estelle?
She just shakes her head. No idea.
Can I do a notice for, like, to kind of determine where to go by, like, the type of growth we see, you know, like following it back to, like, older and older growth? Does that make sense?
Yes. Do you have any fate points left?
I have 1.
Okay. You can make this roll. I will also say what you're looking at is a very complicated pattern.
Okay.
And that is kind of a fate point thing.
Yeah.
So there's 2 answers to this depending on whether you want to spend the fate point.
You know what I'm going to say to you, Caitlin?
Use the fate point. I just don't want to use it now when it would be more useful later.
What I'm going to say is smoke them if you got them. I think this is the time.
Yeah.
Just saying, basically, you got 40 minutes left until the end of this arc.
Yeah, I'll use my fate point then. I will join Estelle in looking into the pattern.
So the tattoos that you have on you get darker and more vibrant as you start staring at this, and immediately your mind starts running as you start making connections here, and you start thinking about what this looked like as you approached it, this complex joining of pathways in this, like, knotted, ropey looking ball. And you remember back to, like, old textbooks when you were in school before you decided to focus on, like, botany more than biology. And you're just like, oh, this is a brain. This is a brain. We're looking at a brain. And a lot of things click into place for you then as to, like, what this is and how it might be exerting the amount of control that it is. As you continue staring, right, that pattern kind of grows broader, and you kind of start thinking again about, like, these life cycles that are in between plant and animal, something that isn't quite either or isn't as easily defined as either. You think about the forest phantom, clearly something that is of a forest, which itself is not a consciousness, but is able to speak and think. And you think about the seed that she gave you. And then if you go, okay, what might this grow if given to us by the forest phantom? That question nags at you as you also look at this thing and can start going, okay, if we needed, like, a way to connect to this, you could make a good guess as to that location based on your knowledge of brains, right? You can go like, okay, all of these connections are too much. We need to get to, like, a central point that Estelle might be able to touch and talk to.
Okay. Let's head this way. It's structured like a brain. And if we follow this nervous system back here, I think speech may be the clearest.
Oh, I like that, actually. Hang on a second.
It's always good when you see Cody, like, smiling and looking off at a different monitor.
So you guys begin a long and laborious process of crawling your way deeper and deeper into this thing. It grows more dense and overgrown the further you get into it, but basically the auditory part of a brain is largely at the center of a brain. So it requires kind of getting all the way down to the center. And I'll say the further you get into it, Estelle, the clearer some of your thoughts become. You don't feel like you're just getting like almost like that like blinding light feeling starts to go away. As you get deeper, you start having more like weird auditory and visual hallucinations almost, and not like of things, but just of like pulses of light, flashes of sound that are all again very disorienting, as well as like waves of weird emotions hitting you, and not like they're your own, but just you can feel something else being angry, sad, happy all at once as you like delve deeper, as you're basically experiencing the layers of this brain. Eventually you come to this like hollow in which there is a finer and more tightly woven grid of this mycelial stuff, these mycelial branches that have all formed in on each other. This area is glowing a constant blue from flickering lights of like luminescence inside of this mushroom. And when you get there, you see one hunter standing, looking at the four of you. It's not the one that you saw before. This one's taller. It's more completely covered in mushrooms. Like its skin is less mottled and more just like uniformly that mushroomy color. Its face right now is sort of an uncomfortable avian, but also sort of near to, I would say like big ostrich, but ostriches are goofy looking. But imagine a large bird of prey that is non-flying, right?
Penguin.
We get giant penguins in all our games.
It is not. I cannot stress enough, it is not a giant jacked penguin. This game is not ending with a ripped penguin again. It cannot be. Gosh darn it. So a jacked penguin is standing there.
No. I was teasing.
Nope, it's canon now. Jacked penguins forever. That's going to become my through line. There's always a big, thick penguin. I don't even like penguins.
Wait,
all
it
right.
could be a kiwi.
That's worse.
Penguins are cooler, actually.
Have you seen kiwis, though?
They're so dumb looking.
It's so much worse to see a kiwi.
I was just looking up for flightless birds. It could be a dodo. So I'm gonna cut so much of this because you were doing such a good explanation, and then I had to be an idiot. I'm sorry.
It was a good being an idiot. It's okay.
I just love the through line. Like, I can't wait for our next game to end with a giant jacked penguin.
All of us like waiting with bated breath, like, where's the penguin gonna be? Star Wars penguins.
This hunter looks at you. It's flesh rippling into longer and sharper claws. I welcome you to this place. I am glad you have found me. Those of you I mean that have joined with us. And one of those claws gestures at Estelle. You, my sister, I am happy to see you. Welcome to this sanctuary. The rest of you, why have you not joined with us?
You didn't mention anything about including dental, so I was kind of wary.
I have no teeth. I have a beak.
I have teeth, so I'm worried about it. I'm trying to give time to distract so Estelle can go talk to the thing without being curb stomped, is my intent.
What is Estelle doing?
How distracted am I?
Much less now. You feel quite a bit of clarity. That overwhelming brightness in your eyes has faded, and you are like at a location that feels close to what consciousness there is, but no longer in an overwhelming way.
Is being in this place making me feel more hostile towards everyone else?
No. Mm-mm.
Do I know where I need to, like, be to communicate?
You're there now.
Oh, so I can just, like...
You can try again.
Okay, yeah.
This is, like, basically the primary speech center of this thing, yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna say, partially because there could be more discussion, I'm sure. But I think Estelle is, like, coming down from that, like, because it's been
Kind of an exhausting time, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much time it took for us from getting off the boat over, but I'm going to guess it's been at least an hour, if not a little bit more, of, like, that constant noise and just, like, being overwhelmed, like, senses being overwhelmed. So I think it's going to take her a minute to, like, come down, and she reaches out and she grabs onto Guffey again, just to, like, feel something physical that's normal underneath her hand. And then after a bit, she sends out the same message. We're hurting others. Can we grow in a different way?
As soon as you do that, the beak of this hunter kind of twitches. Oh, I see. You seek to counsel this place, my sanctuary. I cannot allow that. I am content with the goal that we have set forth, to expand, to grow, to conquer all around.
Did you set forth this goal, or did the mushroom?
We, of course, we work together on this, but I cannot allow lies, deception, foolish whimsy to come in and... Why do I do these voices? Foolish whimsy to come in and ruin that for me. 3 of you are not part of us. 1 of you must be pruned. I'm afraid death awaits. And then its beak opens and you can hear this shrill cry coming from it. And you can immediately hear rustling, like claws and talons raking their way through this mycelial network. My brothers, come. You will be dealt with.
Are we we're surrounded by, like,
Yes.
the mushroom brain?
Yes.
Like a jungle gym of mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Estelle is gonna just, like, reach up and touch the mushroom and, like, scream, think. We don't want to die. If we want to survive, we can't let them attack these people.
Go ahead and make me a dice roll.
Can she have advantage since, she knows that we have a lot of stuff to kill the mushroom brain?
What skill are you using, by the way?
Can I use animal handling? No, I'm joking. I don't know if I have a skill for this. I'll go down them.
I'm gonna give you animal handling.
Ooh.
But I'm also gonna say it's not quite animal handling, so it's not... You get to add 2 for animal handling.
Okay, so not my full 4.
Yeah, because this isn't exactly an animal, but it's also not exactly not an animal, and I don't know... Because it feels mean to go, no, you can't have animal handling, because this is somewhat conscious. So I'm giving you a -2 on animal handling.
Okay, no, that's fine. That feels like the closest skill, per se, but...
Yeah.
Unless you want determination, but that puts me at a disadvantage.
Nope.
I want you to use composed as you're screaming at it.
Dang, okay. Just rolling the same thing constantly, +3.
Okay, so as soon as you make that connection, you start talking again, you can feel sort of conflicting to that. You can feel a different impulse to conquer all around, right? Coming from this other hunter. you start giving this idea of like, look, if we kill everything, we're going to die too, right? The thought that comes back to you is there is safety in numbers. Why would I not want to increase? As that thought hits you, hunters start crashing in through the roof of this little sanctuary, right? These mycelial roots parting as hunters drop in. These things are not like one sleek animal. They're conglomerations of claws and talons and beaks. They have poisonous fangs and barbed tails. And that one avian-looking one whose feet have now started almost growing into the floor here as that mushroominess of its skin pours down into the floor, gestures at Estelle and goes, "Kill her." And they all start rushing towards Estelle. What's everyone else do?
I'm trying to protect Estelle.
Juliet's gonna start spraying stuff.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Oh, this is a bad place to be doing that.
Fred is going to try to protect Estelle as well.
All right. Make me, I'll say 2 fighting checks. And then, Juliet, what do you think? What skill do you think it would be to, like, accurately spray something? Maybe athletics?
I think plant identification. That's my vote for Juliet.
Definitely not plant identification.
I would say like dexterous hands or athletics. They're the same, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I would give either of those.
4.
6.
2.
So this is immediately pretty chaotic. These things start rushing towards you, and there's a lot of them. Juliet, you just start spraying this stuff everywhere you can.
I think I'm like waiting until like if it's hunters like coming at him, I'm imagining she's like steps in front of Estelle and sprays whoever gets close, you know?
Okay, then I'm gonna say this. If you do that, you're taking stress from this. Doing that means you're getting hit at the same time. Or you're spraying it a little bit more recklessly. You don't get hit, but it's gonna have other consequences.
I'll be a little more precise.
Okay. And then, okay, yeah, so as these things are getting closer, you're like basically waiting until they're right on top of you to spray little bits, little bits, little bits. As you do that, though, you are just occasionally, like, getting hit by a stray claw scraping your face. You can feel, like, cuts forming. You're, like, getting body checked by these things kind of as they liquefy and hit you. Autumn, you're managing to kind of hold your own as you're beating these things back. It's like, this is not too difficult for you at this point, but it is not great. And Fred, meanwhile, like, this is hard, right? There are creatures chasing you. You're doing your best. But Fred and Juliet both take 2 physical stress as these things pour in. Meanwhile, Estelle, as soon as Juliet sprays that and the first creature liquefies, you just feel, why is this hurting us? Why is this hurting us? Why is this hurting us? There is safety in number. Why is this hurting us?
She grips the mushroom tighter, as if that would actually do anything. It's hurting us because we're hurting them. Because we're hurting things around us. There's safety in numbers, but at some point when it's only us, we're going to die.
Okay, make me another roll.
Can she get an aspect from me because I was precise and not just like willy-nilly harming it? It was like very specifically the things that are coming at us, like Juliet is spraying. She's not trying to hurt the rest of the network.
So here's my honest answer as a GM. I don't hate that. Had you sprayed randomly, she would have gotten the aspect of active threat and would have been rolling at a minus.
Okay.
You avoided an aspect by doing that, so I don't want to give you one for doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think this is like the animal handling again. I don't really have this skill there, but it kind of fits in the whole like it's like the science argument.
Yeah.
So can I get a +2 at that again?
Sure. I'll give you that.
+4.
Oh, I need to roll opposed to you. Man, you guys are lucking out on this in a lot of ways for how I'm rolling.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we had our miserable episode where we rolled a -3 average.
Right, we've done our time.
All right, so you feel something listening, right? You feel like, okay, that was heard. And then the thought you're left with is, what else can we do? Meanwhile, the tears in this mycelial network are growing wider and wider and wider as more of these things pour in. You're all pushed back as you're like almost bumping into Estelle as she's holding on to this. The hunter in the back with like the avian hunter in the back with the claws is still reaching that one sharp finger at all of you and just screeching, kill her, as he launches himself, like wings sort of beating, like, you know, like chickens can't quite fly, that as it sort of like flutters its way towards you over this mob of hunters. What all of you do?
Can I target it?
You can, yep, but you'll be rolling opposed to fighting that thing specifically.
I'm okay with that.
I think I'm continuing to like keep space between like random hunters and Estelle.
All right, what about you, Fred?
Yeah, still trying to protect Estelle, just trying to keep things away from her as she does her mental projection.
Okay. How did everyone roll?
+1.
+5.
+3.
Okay. So, Fred, you start like chopping back pretty easily and you're like, yeah, I got this. No problem. And then you look over and see like Juliet's little spray just like runs out for like whatever, I don't know how many she carried with her, but it's like the one that she had was like out, and then she's just like bam, mobbed. Like Caitlin or Juliet's gone, just like under creatures that are just like shrieking and clawing. Meanwhile, Autumn, you see this thing flying towards Estelle, and you know, time slows down. You have this moment as you launch your spear at it, like, okay, one ditch effort, and as it flies out of your hand, those talons, lightning quick, cut the spear in half, and this thing lands on top of you, sinking claws into your shoulder. As the beak snaps next to your ear, and you just hear, too slow. And I rolled really good that time.
That was a +5?
I was opposed and I won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the first time I rolled a -1 to Zach's 6, and that time I rolled a 6 to Zach's 5. So I'll say for Juliet and Autumn both take... Ooh... Yeah, we're going to say 3 physical strain with, like, the context of, like, actively bleeding out. Juliet, basically, I think being maxed out on physical stress means taking more. I don't exactly know if that equals out to specifically player death, but it basically means, like, unconscious. You have to do something about this.
Wait, she's already marked all of her consequences?
She gets consequences first.
So we have our stress boxes. And then...
Oh, yeah. Then you start taking consequences. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, then you start taking consequences.
So you shouldn't write the actively bleeding yet, Caitlin.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, okay.
What is the bruised from? I don't remember.
A while ago.
Being beaten up.
I think that's left over from you getting exploded.
Yeah, probably. All right, Estelle, you look up and basically see this thing, its claws sunk into Autumn, and it's like there's death in its eyes as it is absolutely the next thing it's doing is jumping towards you. And you have this moment of like, I can defend myself, or I can keep trying to talk to this thing, and I don't know which one is better.
No, I mean, I know which one I'm doing.
Which one are you doing?
I'm talking to it.
Classic
okay.
Estelle.
And then Juliet, Autumn, and Fred, what are all of you doing?
So did Fred not take any stress for that?
No, actually you beat, yeah, so the horde rolled a 2, and the specific leader rolled a 6. And Juliet rolled a 1, and suffering consequences, you rolled a 3, so not. Fred's good.
Can I use athletics to like get out of the dog pile, essentially?
You can try, yeah.
And I think Fred is going to call over to Autumn You keep protecting Estelle. I'm going to try to help Juliet. And he's going to try to help Juliet.
Yay.
Okay.
I want to grab this thing's skull and try to break it on the mushroom underneath me.
Okay, I like it. Everyone give me them rolls.
So do I get a bonus for Fred helping me?
Oh yeah, actually, so everyone do your rolls. We're going to start with Fred in this case, because I'm going to say that gives an aspect.
Okay.
Do I want to re-roll this?
Do you want me to roll 2?
Yes.
Am I still rolling my plus science roll?
Yes. Basically, yes.
I'll keep what I have. Being beaten with a 5 last time is messing with my head. I don't know what's good anymore.
Fred got a +3.
Oh, okay. So, sorry. Yeah, forgot what order we were doing this in. Okay, so yes, you managed to start beating back some of them off of Juliet. So, Juliet, what was your athletics check?
My roll was a 2.
Okay, so +2 from the aspect from Fred gets it to a 4, which just squeaks by. You struggle to your feet, as I will say both you and Fred take 2 physical strain from doing this, because this is not directly holding them back. At this point, you're kind of all bumping into Estelle, you start trying to communicate to the mycelial network again. You see this thing launching towards yourself, and Autumn, what did you roll?
A 5.
Autumn, I'm gonna give you a choice. This is a choice of success with consequence or failure without.
I want success with consequence.
Okay, so this thing lunges forward and you grab onto it, and when it turns, it just slashes you across your body as you grab its head and start trying to smash it into the ground. Its body just flailing, claws tearing at you. You take 4 physical strain from that, as this is basically a wild animal just flailing at you.
As I'm doing this, I look at it and I say, "You're not even the scariest god I fought," as I slam its head again.
That's a good line.
Also, Caitlin needs a mild consequence, Cody.
Oh, that would be bleeding.
Okay.
Is a mild consequence 2 strain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So basically what she has now is she has a 2, a 4, and a 6 box left, in essence.
Yeah. Yes. And you would, yes. Okay, got it.
And once she has all of those full and takes more, then she's unconscious.
Right. Okay, sorry. Okay, and Estelle, what did you roll?
Do you want my roll, or do you want me to give you my response to it?
Both.
Okay, so Estelle saw this hunter coming at her, and instead of defending, turns and places both hands on the mushroom. We can work with them. We don't need to overtake. We can find our place in this, and they can give us a reason and a purpose to multiply. We can figure this out together to keep us from dying. And that was a +4.
Okay.
Does she get an advantage because I'm kicking its avatar's ass?
Well, so the thing is, yeah, basically she's no longer rolling opposed to anything, because what she's rolling opposed to is currently getting slammed to bits on the ground. So actually, that's just sort of an automatic success, as long as it wasn't an active failure.
Yeah.
The brain around you pulses this shaking and overwhelming blue. The hunters that are immediately standing around you stop. All of them all at once, except for the one that Autumn is still trying to smash into pieces, which is sort of working.
Hey, it can't form around bones if it doesn't have any left.
Estelle, in your mind, the thought that's there quiets for a moment, and you just feel the phrase, "We'll try." And then you hear nothing more in your mind.
When you say nothing more, do you mean
There isn't a furthering conversation. It just says,
okay, yeah, the
"We'll try."
conversation ends.
Yes.
Am I still feeling any of the desire to grow, any of the changes?
That's an interesting question. So you can still feel the mycelial network. You can still understand it. You still feel the impulse for growth. What you also feel, though, is a acceptance of boundary, if that makes sense. Like, everything wants to grow. That doesn't mean that it has to be everywhere.
We taught an alpha male consent, everybody.
But what you also... Oh, you know what? Make me a check on this.
What kind of a check? Danger sense?
You know, I'll give you danger... Yeah, actually, make me a danger sense check.
Ooh, not great. +2.
I'll give you a very simple answer. Something has to decide what that means. So, you said exercise restraint. It says we'll try. But something has to decide what restraint means. How much growth is too much? How far is too far? Something has to decide that.
Is that something, Estelle?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm just going to say, so far, every single time Vinny is right. His track record is 100% on guessing the plot.
I think it's still, like, lets out, like, a sigh. Are you still there? Like, trying to see if there's any... Like, I know you said it quieted down, but is there any response there still?
You just hear the same, we'll try, we'll try, we'll try.
Okay. So she saw the map from Dr. Otis, but
Yep.
she also can connect that in, like, what she knows of the mushrooms growth in the network, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think in her mind's eye, she's like thinking of a like acceptable place for the mushrooms to like be. And I'll say that includes the island and I think let's say down to like the stronghold.
Sure.
So coming back over the mountains on the side of the river that the stronghold is on and giving them enough growth down to the south that it's still like, I don't want to say still new, but kind of,
Yeah.
you
sure.
know, they're not as trapped on the island. And I think she like can see that and puts her hand back on the mushroom and like question mark feeling.
You still just feel, we'll try, we'll try, we'll try. And you can almost feel like a slowing of the growth of that mycelial network and like a gentle retraction.
Okay. She turns to everyone else. Okay, I think we did it.
How are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling okay. Everything's quieted down a lot.
And it's not going towards Smoky Banks anymore?
No. In fact, it's almost like it's like retracting. Like I can feel the like pullback of the network.
Okay.
I don't feel that like strong desire to grow. I tried to like give them like a boundary in the map that the map that Otis drew, kind of like in my head what that would mean. And I think it's receptive to that.
Should we maybe plant the seed on the edge? The forest phantom seed on the edge of the boundary?
That's not a bad idea.
To sort of reinforce that? I'm thinking the side, like, on the west, like, whatever would be closest to Smoky Banks. Just kind of being, like, I guess, like, southwest.
Yeah, kind of keep it from crossing over the river.
To be like, this is a good marker of, like, stay northeast of here.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea. Cody, I'm not seeing them as, like, hostile anymore, right?
No, I mean, you still have definitely the feeling that Juliet has a thing that kills you and Autumn has a bomb and has really not said anything about not using it.
Okay.
I mean, am I still beating up Birdbeak?
No, I would say that's done.
Okay.
You don't have to still be doing that.
Hey, I don't know how many times he's gonna try to get up and kill me. Autumn's like not taking chances. She's already died to a god once. She's already had that experience. She doesn't need it again. All right, are we good to get out of here then?
I think so. I mean, will let us leave. It's safe for us to get out.
Do we need to come back here occasionally to like reinforce your message or anything?
I don't know.
Are they going to freak out as soon as we leave?
I don't know. All I keep feeling.
Oh, so this is a funny thing. Estelle, you definitely do know.
Oh.
You understand how this works. You told it something. You directed it. Something else was telling it something before. There is nothing stopping something else from telling it something in the future.
Okay. Okay, so I don't think we'll have to come back, at least not for a bit. I told it to, retreat, and that is what it's doing. But it does seem pretty accepting of new leadership. It was following that hunter's directions, and now it's following mine. And I imagine if someone else were to get in contact with it in the same way, that could, redirect it again.
But you would know if that were happening, right? Because you'd be getting those messages.
I think so. That seems to be how it works. Or at least I'd be feeling that something is happening up here.
It's changing. Okay, so we have a sort of alert system.
Yeah, I definitely would be feeling it through the network.
Well, if it's feeling receptive and we did what we came for, I think we can go. We can plant the seed kind of on the boundary that we want towards Smoky Banks and go home.
So for those of you that have Roll20 up, can you maybe mark a spot where you want to put that seed just so I know?
Sure.
Honestly, I'm kind of looking at it. It's probably either where it was just drawn or kind of where that other one of the orange dots is, the more southern one.
Ah, okay, perfect. And that is on the edge of where you're going to let the mushrooms grow, right?
Yeah, so it's got this column of growth that extends down from the island down onto the mainland.
Yep. So, sort of montaging back, you make your way back across the ocean, and then south up the river. I know that's counterintuitive to say, but it is. Up the river is south. And south up the river, you stop, get out, and go and plant this seed. Planting it is somewhat difficult. You have to scrape through a great deal of mushroom growth to get down to where you can. But eventually, you dig down in the earth a little bit and drop the seed in and cover it over. I'll say at this point it's, dusk, maybe 2 days after you had that conflict inside of the, this hive of mycelial connections. The sun's setting, you plant this seed, cover it over, and the sun goes, behind the horizon, starts getting dark, and all at once you feel like a barometric shift, like a change in the wind, almost that same kind of shift you would feel when you would go to a new place when you were wandering in the wilds way back when. You have that vertigo feeling, as right on a line that Estelle, you can almost see, right? Where the mushroom is to grow and where it is not to grow. You can almost see that line, and it was right on that line where you planted that seed. That vertigo hits, and you can feel mycelial tendrils wrapping around that seed as it grows. You can feel leaves rustling and swirling. You can feel the kind of pungent scent of fungus and rotten growth. And as you all kind of glance back at where you planted that seed, almost like a new sprouting mushroom, you see a figure standing up from the ground. Instead of being made of bark, you can see that its skin is like a sort of stark cream white. It has deep yellow eyes. The figure is still somewhat humanoid, but this one's far stockier, broader, and a little bit shorter. The top of its head in a distinct mushroom cap. Those yellow eyes look at all of you, and you hear a voice whisper out, "Oh, now this will be an interesting conversation." Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.